All right, get ready because today we're going to dive into something that I'll admit sounds a little intimidating at first, ferocity. But before you start picturing like a snarling wolf or something, we're actually talking about a mindset for success. And this all comes from Don P. Baker's book, Be Ferocious.
It is interesting that Baker, who's a sales training and professional development expert, he doesn't use this word ferocity to describe, being aggressive or some win at all costs kind of mentality. He's really talking about like channeling that inner fire that you have towards your goals.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm definitely intrigued now. So help me out here. What exactly does be ferocious even mean? I mean, it's one of those phrases that could be interpreted in so many different ways.
Yeah, for sure. It's easy to jump to conclusions,
Yeah.
but Baker's really emphasizing intelligent effort and, focused action and like refusing to settle. He really argues that life, it doesn't reward passivity. You have to go out and grab those opportunities.
Yeah, no, I can already see how this could apply to like someone trying to, climb the career ladder or finally launch that side hustle they've been thinking about forever.
Oh, absolutely. And Baker, he uses some pretty vivid language to kind of drive home this point. He says, success isn't handed out like participation trophies. It's seized with grit, determination, and a relentless drive to achieve.
Okay, wow. Yeah, that's a really powerful image. But I gotta admit, the word relentless, it makes me think of someone who's, constantly pushing, constantly grinding, maybe even to the point of burning out. Does Baker talk about that? Like how do you avoid that?
That's such a good question. And it really gets at what Baker means by intelligent effort, right? It's not about just mindlessly hustling or working yourself to the bone. It's more strategic. It's focused. You choose your battles
Yeah.
and you make sure your efforts are actually, going toward your goals.
So it's not just about working hard, it's about working smart.
Exactly, precisely. It's about understanding like what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Where can you make the biggest impact? And then focusing your energy, like laser focus on those areas.
And I imagine this idea ties into, turning setbacks into stepping stones. I know Baker talks about that a lot in the book.
Oh, absolutely. He has this great example in the book about a salesperson who lost this like major client. And instead of dwelling on the loss, the salesperson really analyzed it. Okay, what went wrong? How can I improve? And then actually use that experience to make his sales strategy even better and then landed an even bigger client.
Ah, so it's about using those setbacks as fuel, I guess, to learn, to grow, and ultimately to come back even stronger.
Exactly. It's that resilience and that ability to adapt and learn. That's what Baker believes is really crucial to achieving long-term success.
Okay, so we're starting to get a clearer picture of what this be ferocious mindset really is all about. I'm kind of curious to know more about the man behind the philosophy, though. What's Don Key Baker's background? Like, what led him to develop this approach?
Well, so we mentioned he's a, a big name in sales training and professional development. But what's really interesting is, his approach isn't just theoretical. Like it's rooted in his own experience and the challenges that he's seen firsthand.
So he's not just talking the talk; he's walked the walk.
Precisely. And his mission, like he really wants to transform sales professionals into what he calls fearless closers. He believes that everyone has the potential to do amazing things, but they need the right mindset and they need the right tools to unlock that potential.
And I'm guessing his training style reflects that. It's not just like rah-rah motivation. It's more about providing like practical strategies and advice that people can actually, use in the real world.
Oh, totally. He's known for this like super high energy, really engaging approach. But it's always grounded in real world practical application. He wants to give people the tools that they need to succeed, not just, kind of inspire them temporarily.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So he's established this be ferocious philosophy, and he's obviously super passionate about helping others embrace it. How does he how does he actually do that? What kind of programs or offerings has he developed?
Well, he has a couple different avenues for people who want to dive into this mindset.
Yeah.
So one of his main offerings is the Be Ferocious sales training class. And it's this one-day intensive seminar designed to like equip people with the strategies and techniques to really master the sales process.
From what I've heard, these classes are pretty intense. Like they cover everything from generating leads and handling objections to, well, closing those deals, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. But they're not just lectures. You know, Baker incorporates real-world scenarios, role-playing exercises, and there's even personalized feedback to make sure that people leave with actionable skills. So, yeah, it's all about practical application.
He really puts people through their paces, huh?
He does, but it's challenging in a supportive way,
Hmm.
you know. Now, he also has something for businesses that are looking for more tailored solutions.
Oh, okay. What's that?
So he has these customized corporate workshops, and those are designed to address the specific challenges and goals of a particular team or organization. So it's not one size fits all, right? He actually goes in and looks at their sales strategies and performance, and then tailors the training accordingly.
So it's like a Be Ferocious makeover, but for an entire company's sales approach.
You got it.
Yeah.
He helps them develop strategies for better team collaboration and how to align their sales approach with their business objectives. So it's about creating this culture of ferocity, not just training individuals, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's about getting everybody on the same page and working together toward a common goal. You mentioned he has a couple different offerings. What else does he do?
Well, for people who are looking for even more like personalized guidance, there's one-on-one coaching.
So it's like having a personal ferocity mentor right there with you.
That's exactly. So this is ideal for individual sales professionals. Maybe they're just starting out or maybe they're, seasoned veterans, but they're looking to refine their skills. So he provides, feedback, goal setting, and like a tailored action plan, all to help them achieve measurable improvements.
So there's something for everyone then, whether you're trying to transform your entire company's culture or just level up your own individual game. But with all these different offerings, what makes Donachie Baker's training stand out? Why should someone choose his training over others?
Well, I think a big reason why people go to Baker is his track record. Sales teams that have gone through his training, they consistently report big improvements in their performance. So we're talking about higher conversion rates, exceeding revenue goals. The proof is in the pudding, right?
Yeah, the proof is in the pudding, for sure.
But it's not just about the numbers. People are also drawn to this like unique blend of inspiration and practicality. He's very motivating, very energetic. But, he always backs it up with real strategies and techniques that people can use immediately.
So you're not leaving his seminar just feeling like pumped up, but then with no idea how to actually use what you've learned. You walk away ready to take action.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Exactly. And as we said, he's also incredibly adaptable, whether it's, the one-day seminar, a corporate workshop, or one-on-one coaching. He tailors his approach to meet the needs of his audience. So it's a very personalized experience that's designed to really have an impact.
So it sounds like he's not just teaching a philosophy, he's really living it. This be ferocious mindset is woven into everything he does. But, before we go too far down this path of unleashing our inner beasts, let's address the elephant in the room. The word ferocity, it can be a bit loaded, right? Some people might think of it as aggression or being ruthless, which, not always the best qualities.
You're absolutely right. I mean, ferocious, it can conjure up some negative images, for sure. But as we've talked about, that's not what Baker is advocating for at all. He's very clear that it's about intelligent effort, strategic action, and relentlessly pursuing excellence, not bullying people, not stepping on others to get ahead.
So it's about channeling that intensity and passion into something positive and productive, I guess, not becoming a, cutthroat kind of person.
Exactly. In fact, Baker actually emphasizes the importance of integrity, ethics, and building genuine relationships in every part of life, including sales. He sees ferocity as a force for good. It's a way to empower yourself and others to reach their full potential.
So it's about being like fiercely committed to your goals, but also being aware of how you impact others and staying true to your values. It's like finding that balance, between boldness and compassion.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's really important for anyone who's exploring this concept to understand that nuance. It's not about becoming a ruthless person. It's about harnessing your inner strength and determination to make a positive change, both in your own life and the world around you.
So it's about being a force for good, but with a little extra, I guess, fire in your belly.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. So we've established that Be Ferocious isn't about, aggression. It's about channeling your energy effectively and ethically. And it's important to remember that this ferocity isn't like some magic transformation where you just suddenly become fearless, and unstoppable. It's a process, a journey of self-discovery, a journey of growth.
It's not like you just flip a switch and boom, you're suddenly this sales superhero. It takes work, it takes a dedication, and a willingness to push yourself beyond your comfort zone. But, it sounds like Baker, he gives you the tools and guidance to help you along that journey.
Oh, absolutely. He encourages people to set challenging goals, break them down into, smaller steps, and to really celebrate each milestone along the way. And he also talks about the importance of, self-awareness,
Yeah.
like understanding your strengths, your weaknesses, and what might be holding you back.
So it's about getting really honest with yourself and then taking action to address those areas where you might need to grow.
Yeah, and that's where the ferocity comes in. It's having the courage to confront those difficult truths about yourself, and then having the determination to do something about it. Pushing through those moments of self-doubt, that fear, and taking action anyway. It's not just about positive thinking. It's about rolling up your sleeves, putting in the hard work, and achieving your goals.
So how does this differ from all those self-help gurus who are always promising like quick fixes and overnight success?
Well, he's not promising any magic bullets. He's offering a framework for personal growth that requires effort, it requires discipline, and a real commitment to self-improvement. He's basically saying, look, if you want to achieve extraordinary things, you got to step up and become extraordinary yourself.
Yeah.
And that takes work.
It's about putting in the effort, facing your fears, embracing challenges, pushing forward, even when it gets tough. I mean, let's be honest, not everyone is cut out for this kind of intensity. Some people might find this whole ferocity thing, a little overwhelming. What does Baker say about that?
He acknowledges that this mindset isn't for everyone. He's not saying everyone needs to be, this hard-charging, high-octane individual. He's just presenting a mindset that can be incredibly powerful for those who are willing to embrace it.
Mm.
And remember, it's not just about sales. This philosophy can be applied to, you know, anything, any area of life where you want to achieve something meaningful.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. It's about finding the approach that really resonates with you and applying these principles to your own goals, your own aspirations. So whether you're an artist, an athlete, an entrepreneur, or just someone who wants to live a more fulfilling life, this mindset of boldness, determination, and relentless focus can be transformative.
Absolutely. It's about, taking ownership of your life and refusing to settle for anything less than your best. It's having the courage to step outside that comfort zone, embrace new challenges, and keep pushing yourself to grow and evolve.
So if you're feeling kind of stuck, you're lacking motivation, or you're just ready to, take your life to the next level, maybe it's time to think about, injecting a little ferocity into your approach.
It might be just the thing you need to reignite your passions and achieve those goals that you've always dreamed of.
Now, you mentioned earlier that ferocity isn't just about individual success. Baker also talks about the impact it can have on teams, on organizations, right?
Yes, definitely. He believes that a culture of ferocity can be really powerful in a business setting. When everyone's, working toward that common goal and they're committed to achieving it with focus and determination, incredible things happen.
So how does that manifest in a team setting?
Well, it's about creating an environment where everyone feels empowered to take ownership, to contribute their best ideas
Yeah.
and to push each other to new heights. And it's about celebrating the successes together, learning from failures as a team and constantly striving for improvement.
So it's not just individual ambition then, it's about harnessing that collective energy and drive to achieve something really extraordinary as a group.
Exactly. And Baker gives specific strategies for how to build this kind of culture within an organization. He talks about clear communication, strong leadership, and creating a shared purpose, a shared vision.
So it sounds like he's advocating for a really collaborative and supportive environment, even though, the word ferocity might suggest something a bit more, I don't know, competitive or cutthroat.
It's an interesting point, and I think Baker would agree. It's not about being cutthroat. He emphasizes recognizing and rewarding effort, recognizing and rewarding achievement, both individually and collectively. It's about creating a positive environment where everyone feels valued and motivated to do their best work.
So it's not about pitting people against each other. It's about building a team of highly motivated people who are all working together toward that shared vision of success.
And it's about fostering a culture of respect, of support, where everyone feels empowered to contribute their, unique skills and perspectives.
Because ultimately, a truly ferocious team is one that's both ambitious and compassionate. It's driven, but it's also supportive. It's innovative, but it's collaborative.
Right. And that's the kind of environment that can really achieve those incredible results.
Now, I know a lot of people listening are probably thinking, okay, this sounds great in theory, but how do I actually apply this ferocity to my own life? Where do I even begin?
Yeah, that's the big question. And it's one that Baker addresses in his book. He gives a whole set of practical tools and techniques to help people start using this philosophy in their, everyday lives. One of the first things he recommends is to get really clear on your goals. Like, what do you really want to achieve? What are your passions? What makes you feel alive?
So it's about figuring out what really matters to you and then channeling that ferocity towards those goals.
Exactly. And once you have that clear vision, then you can start breaking that big goal down into smaller steps, more manageable steps. This makes the journey less overwhelming. And it gives you a sense of accomplishment, as you check things off along the way. He also talks a lot about surrounding yourself with positive people, supportive people, people who, believe in you, people who challenge you to be your best, and people who will hold you accountable.
Yeah, because let's face it, trying to, achieve anything worthwhile on your own can be incredibly difficult. Having a strong support system, it really makes a difference. So it's about building your own pack, I guess.
Exactly. Surround yourself with people who are going to encourage you, inspire you, and help you stay on track, especially when things get tough. And remember, it's not enough to just have a goal and a support system.
Mm.
You have to take action, right?
So what's the first step?
Baker emphasizes the importance of taking action, even if it's just, a small step at first. It's about building that momentum, developing good habits, and proving to yourself that you're capable of making progress toward your goals.
So you take those small wins and then you use them to fuel your momentum. But what about when things don't go as planned?
Well, that's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Everyone faces setbacks. Baker encourages people to really embrace failure as a learning opportunity. Like, don't be afraid to make mistakes. The key is to learn from them, to adjust your approach, and just keep moving forward. You have to develop that resilience and grit that allows you to bounce back from those setbacks and keep going no matter what.
So it's not about being perfect, it's about being persistent.
Exactly. Anyone who's achieved something meaningful has faced challenges along the way. But the difference is the ones who succeed, they're the ones who refuse to give up. They keep pushing forward, even when it's hard, even when it's painful, even when people tell them to quit.
That's what ferocity is all about. It's about having that unwavering belief in yourself, that belief in your vision, and the determination to see it through to the end.
It's about embracing those challenges, learning from the setbacks and never losing sight of your goals.
It's about living your life with passion, with purpose, and a relentless drive to make a difference.
And remember, this journey of ferocity, it's not a solo mission. Baker really stresses the importance of community, of surrounding yourself with those like-minded people, who can support you, inspire you, and hold you accountable.
Yeah, it's like having your own pack of ferocious allies, cheering you on, pushing you to be your best.
Exactly. And that sense of community, it can make all the difference, especially when you're facing those challenges or those setbacks.
So, wow, we've covered a lot here. We've talked about the meaning of ferocity, and we dug into Don P. Baker's background, his unique approach. We even, discussed some practical tips for how to actually apply this mindset in our own lives. But I think it's important to take a step back here and look at the big picture. What does this all mean? Why should someone listening to this right now even care about being ferocious?
That is the million-dollar question. I think at its core, embracing this ferocious mindset, it's about taking control of your life. It's about, refusing to just be a passive observer, letting life just happen to you. It's about stepping up, claiming your power, and becoming the architect of your own success.
Yeah, it's about realizing that you have the potential to achieve incredible things, but it's up to you to take action and make it happen.
And it's not just about material success or achieving some, arbitrary definition of winning. It's about living a life of purpose, of passion, and meaning. It's about making a contribution to the world, leaving your mark and inspiring others to do the same.
So it's about becoming the best version of yourself and using that power to make a positive impact.
And I think that's a message that resonates with people, especially today. It's so easy to feel overwhelmed or powerless or just lost in all the noise.
And Baker's offering this path forward, a way to reclaim our agency, to reignite our passions, and to create a life that's both fulfilling and impactful.
And while that path, it may not always be easy, it's definitely worth taking.
So as we start to wrap up this deep dive into ferocity, I want to leave you with one final question, something to think about as you go about your day and you consider how you might apply this mindset to your own life.
What area of your life could benefit from a dose of ferocity? What what bold step are you ready to take?
What dream are you ready to chase with relentless passion and determination? The answers to those questions, my friend, they lie within you. Now go out there and be ferocious.
Until next time, keep diving deep.
As we're, talking about this whole be ferocious mindset, I'm starting to realize it's not just about, those external achievements. Like there's a big personal growth aspect to it as well, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, personal growth, that's really at the heart of what Baker's all about.
Yeah.
He believes that if you embrace this mindset, it can actually help you become more resilient, more self-aware. You can even get a deeper understanding of your own values.
So it's not just about, reaching those goals. It's about becoming a better version of yourself along the way.
That's it, exactly. Baker talks about how, like, when you face those challenges head on, with that ferocious determination, it can actually boost your confidence. It can boost your self-belief. It's
Yeah.
almost like each obstacle you overcome, it makes you stronger. It
Mm.
adds another layer of strength to your
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, it's like that saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But in this case, it's not just about, surviving. It's about going out and finding those challenges and then using them to grow.
That's a great way to put it. And Baker, he even wants people to rethink how they see failure. He says that failure, it's not the opposite of success. It's actually a stepping stone to get there.
So it's about embracing those stumbles and using them as fuel to learn, to improve.
Right. He wants you to really analyze your mistakes, figure out what those lessons are,
Yeah.
and then take those lessons and use them in the future. So it's about developing a growth mindset where even the negative experiences, they're just chances for you to develop, to grow.
Yeah, no, I can see how that could be really empowering. It's like you're taking back control. Instead of feeling, defeated or discouraged, you use those moments to learn.
Absolutely. And Baker, he gives some practical tips on how to cultivate this growth mindset. He talks about setting realistic goals, breaking those goals down into smaller steps, and celebrating those little victories along the way. He wants you to recognize that progress, it's not always a straight line. There are going to be setbacks.
So it's about embracing the journey, not just fixating on the destination.
That's it. And it's about recognizing that personal growth, it's a lifelong thing. It's not something that happens overnight. It's this constant journey of learning about yourself, of improving yourself.
Okay, so we've talked about, the importance of personal growth and developing that growth mindset. But I'm curious about how this whole ferocious mindset actually translates into action. Like, how do you go from feeling, stuck or unmotivated to taking those bold steps toward your goals?
Well, Baker really emphasizes the importance of taking action,
Hmm.
even if, it's just those baby steps at first. It's about building that momentum and proving to yourself that you can make progress. He often tells his clients, don't wait for the perfect moment, create it.
So be proactive. Don't just, sit around waiting for things to happen. But I imagine that can be, pretty scary for some people, especially if they're dealing with, self-doubt or a fear of failing.
Oh, absolutely. Fear can be a huge roadblock. But Baker's argument is don't try to run away from it. Embrace it.
Yeah.
He sees fear as a kind of compass. It's pointing you towards growth.
I love that quote. So it's about leaning into that fear instead of, letting it control you.
Exactly. That's where that ferocity kicks in. It's about having that courage to face your fears, to step outside of your comfort zone, and to take action even when you're feeling uncertain.
That takes a lot of bravery. But, what about those times when you do take that leap of faith, and things don't quite go as planned? How do you deal with those, setbacks, those disappointments?
Well, that's where, that resilience we were talking about, that's where it comes in. It's about being able to bounce back, to learn from those mistakes and to just keep moving forward. Baker often compares this journey to success, to a roller coaster ride. There's going to be ups and downs, there's going to be twists and turns, but it's that ability to stay on track and enjoy the ride. That's what really matters.
So it's about, being strong enough, mentally to get through those tough times and to come out stronger on the other side. But how do you actually develop that kind of resilience? Is it something you're just born with, or is it something you can work on?
Baker, he believes that resilience, it's like a muscle, you know?
Mm,
It's something you can strengthen over time. So he encourages people to, adopt a more positive way of talking to themselves, to focus on their strengths
mm.
and to celebrate their accomplishments, even the small ones. It's about developing that belief that you can overcome those challenges.
So it's about building up that inner confidence,
Yeah.
that unwavering belief in yourself.
Exactly. And that's something you can cultivate. You do it through practice,
Yeah.
through facing those fears, and through proving to yourself time and time again that you can handle whatever life throws at you.
Okay, so we've talked about, personal growth and resilience and even, facing your fears head on. But I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about something that Baker he talks about a lot in his work. And that's the importance of community. Why does he think that having a strong support system is so important to this whole be ferocious mindset?
I think, he recognizes that we're not meant to go through life alone.
Huh.
We need people in our corner, people who believe in us, who support our goals, and who will be there for us when things get tough.
Yeah, it's like having your own personal cheering section. They're there to push you to be your best.
That's it. And Baker believes that surrounding yourself with the right people, it can really make all the difference. He wants people to find their tribe, find that group of people who share your values, who will support you on that path to success.
But it's not just about finding people who are gonna, cheer you on, right? It's
Yeah.
it's about finding those people who are gonna challenge you, who will hold you accountable, and who will help you stay focused, when you're tempted to give up.
Oh, absolutely. True friends, true mentors, they celebrate those wins with you.
Yeah.
But they're also the ones who are going to give you that constructive criticism when you need it. They're going to push you to grow, to step outside of that comfort zone and to become the best version of yourself.
So it's about finding that balance, between that support and that challenge. But I can imagine that just finding the right people, that can be a challenge in itself. How do you even go about building that kind of, supportive and inspiring community?
That's a really good question. And I think it starts with you. Being clear about your values, your goals. Like what kind of people do you want to be around? What qualities do you admire? Once you have that clear sense of what you're looking for, then you can start, putting yourself out there, connect with people who share your interests, your goals, your dreams.
So it's about, really being deliberate about the relationships that you build.
Exactly. It's about looking for those communities, those groups, or even just, individuals who inspire you, who challenge you, who make you, want to be better.
And it's about being that kind of person for others too, right? Being that source of support, that source of encouragement for the people in your own circle.
Oh, absolutely. Building a strong community, it's a two-way street. It's about giving as much as you take
Mm.
and creating a space where everyone feels supported and empowered to grow.
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful way to put it. It's not just about, what you can get. It's about giving back and creating something, something bigger than yourself. Okay, so we've talked about personal growth, resilience, the importance of community, and even, how to handle those inevitable setbacks that are going to come your way. But as we, start wrapping things up here, I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier, that this ferocious mindset, it's about more than just your own success. It's about making the world a better place. How does Baker connect these two things, personal growth and making a difference?
Well, I think he believes that, when you work on yourself, when you build up that strength and that determination, you're not just helping yourself. You're also giving yourself the power to do more for others. It's like that saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. So when you are, full of that passion, that purpose, and that belief in your abilities, you have so much more to offer.
So personal growth and making a difference, they're really connected.
Exactly. And Baker, he encourages people to think about how they can use their own skills, their talents, their experiences, to make the world a better place. It could be through their job, their relationships, their community, or just the way they interact with people every day.
So it's about finding your own way to contribute, to leave the world a little bit better than you found it.
Absolutely. And I think that's what's so inspiring about this whole be ferocious idea. It's not just about you achieving success. It's about using that success to make a difference and to inspire others to do the same.
Okay, so as we wrap up this episode, I want to leave our listeners with a couple of questions to think about. What does ferocity mean to you? How can you embrace this mindset to achieve your goals and to make a positive impact on the world?
And remember, this journey of ferocity, it's not about being perfect. It's about progress. It's about taking those little steps day by day,
Yeah.
and believing that you have what it takes to achieve great things.
So go out there and be ferocious. And until next time, keep diving deep. I've been thinking as we talk about this be ferocious idea. How does it work in like relationships? We've talked about, careers and personal growth. But can this mindset, can it actually help you build stronger relationships
Mhm.
with other people?
That's a really interesting question. It does seem kind of counterintuitive at first, right? Like
Hmm.
ferocity, it doesn't exactly make you think of, warm, fuzzy feelings and stuff.
Right.
But I think, Baker would say that this mindset, it can actually make your relationship stronger, personal relationships, professional relationships.
Okay. Yeah, now I'm really intrigued. Tell me more.
Well, think about those core principles that we've been discussing, right? Boldness, determination, resilience. Those qualities, they can be so valuable when you're dealing with the ups and downs of relationships.
So instead of like avoiding those tough conversations or letting resentment build up, you're saying you should, face those issues head on with that same ferocious determination.
Yeah, exactly. It's about having that courage to be honest,
Yeah.
to set those boundaries, and to stand up for what you need in the relationship. And it's also about having that resilience, to work through those challenges, to forgive,
Yeah.
and to grow together.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's about like, really showing up in that relationship even when it's tough. That's it. And I think, that level of honesty, that commitment, it can really make the bond between two people even stronger. It's about creating that space where you both feel safe, to be vulnerable, to say what you need and to work together to build a relationship that's stronger, more fulfilling.
So it's not about like being ferocious to the other person. It's
Mhm.
it's about bringing that energy, that passion to the relationship itself.
Exactly. You're fiercely committed to that relationship, to making it work, even when it means having those hard conversations or facing those uncomfortable truths.
Okay, yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. But what about conflict? Doesn't bringing this kind of intensity to a relationship, wouldn't that lead to more arguments, more clashes? Yeah, and that's a good point. That's why Baker's always talking about the importance of communication and empathy. It's not about forcing your way through the relationship or making the other person do what you want. It's about really listening, really understanding, where they're coming from, and finding those solutions that work for both of you.
So being assertive, but not aggressive.
Right. It's about saying what you need, what you want, but doing it in a way that respects the other person, their feelings, their boundaries. It's about finding that balance
Mm.
between being true to yourself and making that connection stronger.
Okay, so we've talked about, careers, personal growth, relationships. Is there any part of life where this be ferocious idea where it wouldn't work?
Hmm. That's that's a really good question. And honestly, I think one of the coolest things about this whole philosophy is that it's so versatile. It's not like some rigid set of rules or a one size fits all approach. It's a mindset. It's a way of living your life with intention, with passion, with a drive to achieve your goals. And those goals can be anything.
So it's about applying these core ideas, boldness, determination, resilience to any challenge you face, whether it's, at work, in your relationships, or even just in your own, personal growth.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes this philosophy so powerful. It gives you the tools to build the life that you want, to overcome those obstacles and to make a real difference in the world. And you do it all while staying true to yourself, while taking care of your own well-being.
Yeah. I gotta say, this has been a really, really insightful deep dive into Be Ferocious. We've covered so much. We've explored different ideas and we've even challenged some of our own, assumptions along the way.
Yeah, and I think the most important thing is that we've given our listeners, something to think about, something to really consider as they go about their day and they think about how they might want to apply this mindset in their own lives.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we wrap up, I wanna leave our listeners with one final question. What what area of your life could benefit from a dose of ferocity?
What dream have you been putting off? What challenge have you been avoiding? What step, even if it's just a tiny one, what step are you ready to take to move you closer to the life that you want to create?
Those are some powerful questions, and the answers they're inside each of us. So go out there and be ferocious.
Until next time, keep